Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are knowing what you are wanting?
Yes.
You are enjoying the expansion of your desire? Well, when you want something and you know how to bring it about, it's fun to want it, isn't it? But when you want something and you've been wanting it for a while and it stubbornly is staying off at a distance, when you want to bring something in that won't come, or when you want to get rid of something that won't go, then when we say, are you enjoying the contrast? Are you enjoying those new desires that are percolating within you? And often, if we've trained you here, you say, oh yes, we really like those unfulfilled desires. But there will come a time when you come to realize that no desire is off limits for your ability to create it. In other words, when you begin to remember who you are, when you consciously reestablish your relationship between the physical you and the non-physical you, when you remember the purpose of your emotions and the information that they give you in terms of not only your relationship between the physically focused you and the non-physically focused you, but your emotions also give you play by play, moment by moment indicators of how you're doing in relationship to those very desires. Because it turns out that as you sift through the contrast, which causes you to focus, even if you don't put words to it, your desires into a vibrational format, which always precedes the manifestational format. In other words, everything's focused into a vibrational reality first. So without even knowing it, you have focused a wonderful vibrational reality that is not just the forerunner of your relationships or of your possessions or of your experiences. It's actually the vibrational pre-you. You are the creator of you. You think you might be creating a new car or creating a pile of money or creating a relationship, but what you're actually creating is you within those experiences. You are the creator of you. So in order to really understand this, we want you to understand that you were source energy before you came into these physical bodies, a culmination of all that you had lived. And when you made the decision to project part of that consciousness into this personality that you know as you, the larger part of you remained non-physical. That's where humans get the idea of a soul. The larger part of you remains non-physically focused. It's not dead or alive. It's always alive, always non-physically focused. And sometimes that life is focused into the likes of you. But when you understand that the non-physical part of you always exists, then you can begin to understand why there is a vibrational relationship between the thoughts you're thinking now and the vibration that is activated because of what you're focused upon, and the source within you and what the source within you is thinking about the very thing you're thinking about. When you focus upon something in your experience and you complain about the lack of something, the reason that it feels uncomfortable to you when you do it is because the source within you is not focused lackfully. The larger part of you is always focused upon the abundance. The largest part of you is always focused upon where you're going, not where you are. The larger part of you, in fact, is where you're going. Do you sort of kind of get that? You were non-physical energy, and a part of you came forth into this body, and you explore the contrast. And by knowing what you don't want, you automatically know what you do want. It's just the balance of this universe. In fact, if you really know that you really don't want something, then you really know that you really do want something. There's an equal, proportionate desire that shoots out of every awareness of what you don't want. So without even knowing it, you have been building a vibrational escrow, a vibrational reality that's not just a pile of stuff waiting off in the future for you. It's actually the vibrational essence of you living, being, having, doing all of that. And that vibrational essence of you is as real as the you that you now manifested. Now hear this. So over time, we've been saying to you that if you have a desire and your belief is the same as your desire, that's really what positive expectation is, then it has to be, and it has to be fast, because your desire is pure, there's no resistance to it, and it's flowing to you. And you've proved that out in your own life, haven't you? The things you expect come easily to you. It's the things you don't expect that keep seemingly messing up your experience. Someone the other day says, I don't want to work there, but I have no choice. What an awful trap. I want more money, but I can't figure out how to get any. I want a mate, but I can't find a mate. And we say, when you want and you equally or greater doubt the thing you want, then you hold yourself in what feels like a tug of war to you, and it literally is a tug of war, because in your doubting you have introduced a resistance that does not allow you to go to the vortex where what you want is. So over time we've said to you, when you want it and believe it, it is. Then we began telling you that you are a creator, and that if you are a deliberate creator, which means you think more about what you want, you script it, you write about it, you talk about it, that more of the things that you want will begin to come into your experience. Be more deliberate in your intent, we said to you. Then we watched you. You worried about your thoughts too much then. You got the idea that every word that popped out of your mouth was going to bring immediate response to that word. So you said, cancel, 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 as you tried to suck back the word before law of attraction took it away and ran with it. And so then we began explaining to you that well-being really is the basis of your experience, and that you have much latitude and leeway. And that if you will think about allowing what you want to come, that there is a step 3 process. Life causes you to do step 1, ask. Source answers, and today we're telling you not just answers. Source literally becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you're asking for and holds it in this vortex where law of attraction is gathering. Step 3 is you got to figure out how to be a vibrational match. And then for a while, we offered you the analogy that when you ask, source answers. And as law of attraction responds to source holding the fullness of all you've asked for, as law of attraction responds to that request, the sensation to you is like a being called downstream, naturally toward the fulfillment of what you're wanting. Today, we are going to describe this process to you in yet another way. We want to say to you that when you ask, you send rockets of desire into your vibrational experience. And we've been calling this your vibrational escrow, because it's where all that you want is held in an account that's just for you, that no one else is going to sweep in. Bernie Madoff does not have access to this account. And then we began calling it a vibrational reality. It's a vibrational reality because you're so excited about this physical reality. We want you to be excited about this vibrational reality. And today we are calling this vortex, a vortex of creation. It is a vortex, and the reason that we are calling it a vortex is because as law of attraction responds to this powerful point that the source within you is holding on your behalf, this much larger than you part of you, this much larger than the physical part of you, non-physical part of you, stands there holding this pure thought of what you've been asking for, and with the absence of resistance to this and law of attraction's response to that, there is a powerful vortex that is created, a vortex of attraction. And this is the most important thing for you to hear about this, where all cooperative components are being assembled. The question is, are you a cooperative component? And the answer is, if you're mostly joyful, mostly happy, mostly eager, mostly frisky, then yes, you could count yourself as a cooperative component. And if all of that is true, then you're saying to us, things work out for me. Ideas come just at the right time. I flow in and out of all things. I rendezvous with like-minded people. Wonderful things happen. I barely think about something that I want, and the path to achieve it is unfolding for me. I feel good all of the time. I wake up, I hit the floor with a feeling of enthusiasm for life. I feel reborn anew every day of my life experience. If that's the way you are describing yourself, then you are often, most often, in the vortex. But if you're ornery, if you're confused, if you feel resentment, then you're not in the vortex, not consistently. And if you're like most people, you're in and out, in and out. If you're like most people, you're out, and out and out, and out and out and in, and out, and out and out, and out and out, and damn mad about being out and in, and out, and out, and out, and joining the online chat group about how crummy it is to be out, and out, and out, and out, and out, and in, and out. If you're like most people, you're out mostly, on the brink of it sometimes, and in rarely, but you've been in enough to taste the sweetness of alignment, enough so that when you're not in there experiencing the fullness of all that is meant to be for you, you resent it. You know something is really, 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 really wrong. And that's why when you don't feel good, you want to blame this one and that one and this one and that one and this one and that one. Usually the person you live with is the person that gets the brunt of your blame about you not being in the vortex, but we want to lovingly give it all back to you. You get the credit, 100% of the credit, about whether you're in the vortex or whether you're not in the vortex. We just want to do the best sales job ever about wanting to inspire your desire to be in the vortex, because we see clearly what you've put there, and we know the expansiveness of who you have become, and we know the capacity for clarity and love that is really you, and we don't blame you a little bit if you're not completely up to speed with the fullness of who you have become. You feel awful and you want it. We just want to say to you, there's no way of filling the void of not being in the vortex other than getting in the vortex. Can't buy one more thing and bring it home. Can't eat something, drink something, shoot something. You can't find somebody else to give their attention to you, to love you enough. In other words, it's not possible for you to fill the void that is the fullness of who you are without getting in the vortex, which simply means you just got to stop doing that thing you do that doesn't let you in. So what are some of the things you do that prevent you from getting into the vortex? And you understand this vortex is just this high, non-resistant energy place where you rendezvous with the source. Esther's in the vortex, otherwise she could not receive Abraham with this clarity. In other words, she is up to speed with the vibration that is us, and that's why the conversation is seamless between the intent of that which we are offering and her ability to deliver it. That's in the vortex. When you're in the vortex, that's when your inspiration is at its greatest. That's where authors and artists and musicians, that's where those that you call masters often find what they call their inspiration. They're in the vortex where they have clear view of not only the idea, but the path to which it will unfold. When you're in the vortex, things unfold for you in a way that there's no question in your mind that that's the thing to do. You know how sometimes you say, I don't know whether to go this way or that way. You're not in the vortex, because if you were in the vortex, you'd say, I'm going this way and I don't care what anybody thinks about it. When you say, those people over there and their philosophy is really awful and their philosophy is going to bring us all down, you're not in the vortex. And it's not their philosophy that's bringing you down. It's you not being in the vortex that's not bringing you up. No one can bring you down, but your standards of how up you really are keep changing. And if you don't stay up to speed with who you are, you don't feel good. So, what's the difference between a higher, faster vibration and a lower, slower one? Higher, faster feels better. It's what joy and love are. Lower, slower feels worse. It's what depression is. It's what despair and fear are. Higher, faster has less resistance. Lower, slower has more resistance. So really, the operative word that we're talking about here today is, as I stand in my human form, what is it that I could do a better job of controlling that would make the most difference in my life? And we want to say to you, If you'll get a bead on your resistant tendencies and work them into less resistance, your vibration will raise, you'll hover on the brink of the vortex, or you'll pop in off.